Hey, what's up, my friends? Welcome back to the JB Webb Show on WJBW Networks. I am JB Webb, and this week we took quite a heck of a long hiatus from producing episodes. But this is episode 73. It's dedicated to the Wearable Art Show in the beautiful city of Deland, Florida. We get to talk with about half of the artists that are showcasing art there. So we wanted to give you a good sense some of the cool stuff that they're doing here in Central Florida and the Museum of Art Deland. So check out this episode. Enjoy a sneak preview of some of the great artists and their work for the Wearable Art Show Deland. This is the third installment of that show. Anyway, enjoy our show, and we'll see you the next time. Hey, what's up, my friends? It's JB Webb back with you, of course, once again. Wearable Art Show Deland, Florida. This is the third time that they have done this cool event. It's the Museum of Art in Deland, Florida. On the line with me, I have Lindsay Agnew. She is an artist that will be having some work shown at the Wearable Art Show in Deland. Lindsay, thanks for hanging with us and being on the call. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. We're having some beautiful Florida weather, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, you can't, no denying it. It was gorgeous yesterday. So, hey, I appreciate you talking with me. What I love to do is find out about origins of how people got into art. So maybe you could share with us a little bit about your origins into art. Give us an idea of, how early it started or what have you. Kind of your track.
Yeah. So I started doing artwork when I was 6 years old. I used to go over this lady in our hometown, and I learned oil painting from her.
Oh, cool.
I would go there every Monday for 3 hours after school and just paint.
Oh, wow.
And I learned how to illustrate and work with oil painting. And then I used to design my own greeting cards. So that's how I got involved in art at an early age.
So those actually sound like that was kind of like lessons or,
Yeah,
oh, wow.
Started with lessons, and then when I got older, I realized I can do it on my own.
Yeah.
So then in high school, I did a lot of classes in school, and I would paint on my own and by myself and just be creative. And then I wanted to go to an art school, so I went to art school.
Oh, where did you go?
I went to Ringling College for art and design.
Oh, cool.
And I majored in graphic design.
Oh, that's down in Sarasota, right? Ringling?
Yeah, Ringling. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, wow. All right, that's cool. So, well, tell me a little bit more about these cards. So you were doing like Hallmark greeting cards? Like what did those look like?
Oh, so basically the cards, when I was little, I would take magazines and I would find cool images from the magazines coming
that's
out
cool.
and then make a greeting card out of them.
Oh, cool. So you were like doing Pinterest or something before everybody else or something?
Yeah,
scrapbook.
maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
And I would send it to family members.
Well, that's cool. So I'm so excited. I'm going to be emceeing out there at the Wearable Art Show, and you're one of the great artists that's going to show out there at the show. Are you excited about that? The piece. Yeah, the piece that you have in there. Just maybe give us a little teaser or clue about it.
Oh, okay. Well, it's only made out of 2 materials.
Okay.
And it's wrapping paper and tape.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Are there going to be little graffiti images in that? Little Hallmark?
Probably not.
Okay. All right, cool. So again, that's May 17th, Wearable Art Show. We are speaking with Lindsay Agnew out of Winter Park, Florida. And Lindsay, what's the best way for people if they want to connect with your art, go see your art, kind of connect with you, or see any other showings you may be involved with? What's the best way for people to kind of get involved with what you're doing with your art?
Probably going to my website, which is hellolindsay.com.
Okay. So just traditional spelling of Lindsay, hellolindsay.com.
Yeah, LINDSAY.
All right.
hellolindsay.com.
Cool. Very cool. Lindsay Agnew is who we're speaking with. You can see her work at hellolindsay.com or come out to Deland to the Wearable Art Show. I'm JB Webb. We're chatting with all the artists that are going to be showcasing their work out there in Deland May 17th. Lindsay, thanks again for being on the call.
Oh, thank you.
My pleasure. All right, cheers. We'll talk to you later. We have plenty more people to interview. Thanks for hanging with us. what's up, my friends? Welcome back. It is JB Webb with you. We are doing an episode dedicated to the Wearable Art Show in Deland, Florida, and the great artists that are showing their some work in the show. And I have Titan Laurent on the telephone with me, and welcome to the call. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Oh, thank you for taking some time to chat with me. You have a great background in art, so I want to really start right there, and maybe you can give us some insight into your origins into art. Give me a sense of how you first got started, or your actual involvement in art, and where did that all come from?
Actually, it came from, as far as I remember, I come from a 7th generation artist, my family. Mm-hmm. But when I started, actually, my main focus was to make money. So I kind of was studying evening academic class and stuff like that. But I was working in the marketing field during the day until I turned 30. And then I had this huge breakthrough, and I decided to reinvent myself. From Belgium, where I was living, I went to New Zealand, which is the opposite of the word, and I reinvented myself as an artist, and I survived selling my painting, and then I wanted to go to a university to get better at art, and because it was too expensive, the only class that was free was cartooning, so that's how I became a cartoonist, and then from there, the cartoon pay everything I need for my painting, and then I continue painting, continue cartoon, and it's kind of two important direction in my life.
Yeah, well, your work is beautiful, and I love the mixture of, as you said, kind of the cartoon element you can see in some of your larger scale works, that almost real but not real kind of look in some of those portraits and paintings. So that's interesting. And I know you shared with me you're not necessarily into, fashion. It's more of the painting side of art. But what about the piece that you have in this year's Wearable Art Show that you could share with us? Any information about what your piece is going to look like in this year's show?
Yeah, sure. My favorite artist is Jean-Michel Basquiat. I like his color, I like his energy, his freedom. And when I read the invitation to submit wearable art, just his name came straight away in my mind, and I had already a vision of the painting, and the dress, it went like tick, tick, tick in 5 minutes. And actually, when I received the call to submit this dress, I had only 2 days to prepare, but it's like it was in me. So I did a quick, I don't know, proposition or a quick project, and it got accepted. And from there to go from a Basquiat painting to my dress, that was another word, because I don't know how to sew, whatever, I'm not one of these knitting ladies. So it was a huge challenge, but finally I managed to do something that I really like, and I think that expressed the energy and the kind of the primitive line of Basquiat, and I used ribbon, fabric, and I make sure I kept every line I was using with the ribbon, for example, to keep this energy, to not do straight lines, to keep it like a kind of like a tribal feel. So. Oh wow! Well, it
sounds exciting, and it sounds like you put a lot of effort and forethought into this piece at the Wearable Art Show. I'm on your website right now. It's Titan Laurent, and I'll throw this up there, spell it out so people can find you. Are you originally from France?
No, I'm born in Morocco. I grew up in Belgium, and I have a New Zealander passport, so you pick and choose.
You can go anywhere.
Yes, I don't know where I put my desk the day I die. It's not a spot for me anymore.
Well, you're definitely very talented. I love the images that I'm seeing. I'm very excited to see your actual wearable art piece May 17th in the beautiful city of Deland, Florida. Titan Laurent, is who we're speaking with. Teton, what's the best way for people to connect with you? Is it through that website, or if people want to collaborate with you or maybe hire you for commission work, or what's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
Yep. Website, and from the website, you've got an email. I'm not good with telephone, so
no problem.
Website and email is perfect.
Okay. All right, perfect. Well, we've been speaking with Teton Laurent, one of the artists who will be showing this year's Wearable art show in Deland, Florida. I am JB Webb. We have plenty more people that we're going to speak with. Thank you very much. Hang on the line with me, and we'll be back with a little bit more. Hang tight. Hey, what's up? JB Webb back again. We have another artist that is showing art at the Deland Wearable Art Show at the Museum of Art in the beautiful city of Deland, Florida. And on the telephone with me, I have Bethany Michael, and she has a good body of work, and she also has some shows, some work, in the show upcoming that we're speaking about here. And welcome to the call. How are you doing, Bethany?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. So you have interesting background in art. I'd love for you to share a little bit about your origins. How'd you first get into art, and then what kind of mediums are your specialties, or what do you like to work with the most?
Well, my professional background is actually in graphic and web design, and I've always enjoyed fashion and costume design, so I ended up going back to school about 5 years ago for fashion design.
Oh, cool.
And I've been pretty heavily involved in fashion design, but specifically with
Oops, you broke up there on the last part. Could you say that again?
I'm sorry. And rather than taking like a standard fashion design approach, I prefer to do a little more avant-garde and kind of installation pieces.
Right.
It's more of my cup of tea.
Okay, cool. So, how did you first get started in kind of feeling like this was something that you said 5 years ago? What was the cause to go into that? You said, this is really my passion. I love doing this.
It was. I mean, the economy was rough, and the job market for graphic design wasn't quite what it used to be, and I was just a little bit tired of working strictly on a computer rather than working with my hands, which is what I really like to do.
Right.
And I just felt like it would be a good kind of personal enrichment project to go back to school and do what I really wanted to do at the same time. So I chose fashion design.
And that's cool, and that's definitely an art form. And when the actual date rolls around, you've got interesting pieces in this show. So maybe you can give us a little teaser information about some of the work that you have in the show.
I'm actually showing one piece in this show, and it's just kind of a concept piece that I'm using all unconventional materials.
Okay.
Trying to kind of show that avant-garde and what would normally be high-end runway fashion, that you can actually make things like that out of unconventional materials that are actually very affordable, and it's just about manipulating the materials to make them look like they're something else.
Oh, wow.
Trash bags that I've cut to look like feathers.
Oh, wow, cool.
And fabric, and I've got a lot of zip ties, things like that are hardware store.
Okay.
Vendors.
Yeah, so that's some skill. You've got to actually process those materials to make them look like a fabric, like you're saying, or flow a particular way. So that's super interesting. That takes a lot of skill. How long have you been? What kind of things do you see for the future of what you want to do with your art?
I've been working on my MFA, but I decided I'm going to take a semester off school this fall because I want to get more into getting my work out there, and with working full-time jobs and then going to school, it's a little difficult to do that. So, I'm going to hopefully get some more pieces made that are more representative of what I want to show. And
okay. And so what's the best way for people to reach out to you? It sounds like you're kind of, working in that 3D space now. You're working with different mediums, regular everyday type of stuff that you can turn into something that looks extravagant. So if people want to kind of get connected with you or collaborate or work with you on something, what's the best way for them to connect with you?
I do have a website. It's BethanyMichael.com, but I'm also in the process of revamping that this summer.
Okay.
But I'm bmichael@gmail.com is my email address.
Okay, and Michael is spelled M-I-K-E-L-L.
Yes.
All right, very cool. Well, another great Florida artist that we're speaking with here, Bethany Michael, and you can see her work out May 17th at the Deland Museum of Art in the city of Deland at the Wearable Art Show. Bethany, thank you so much for taking some time to chat with us today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. All right, so JB Webb will be back with a couple more artists. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll be back, yes. Friends, welcome back. JB Webb with you. And once again, we are helping to promote and spread awareness, basically, about the Wearable Art Show in Deland. And once again, I have another great artist here on the line with me who's going to chat with me a little bit about the art that he has available for show at the Wearable Art Show in Deland, Florida. It is Francis Prachthauser. He has been practicing professional metal artist since 1983, specializing in bronze and copper, so really that ancient stuff. Prachthauser has been creating finely crafted masks, adornments, and sculptures in this medium for nearly 30 years. So that's the gentleman we're taking some time to speak with and is on the call with us right now. Francis, thank you so much, and how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks for taking some time. Your work is amazing. It's finely ornate. We joked just a couple of moments ago about how it's an ancient art form, working with especially those metals, those particular copper, bronze. So I'm super interested to hear, about your origins. How'd you first get into this 20, 30 some odd years ago? How'd you first start into this art form?
Well, actually, I got into it in an ancient fashion. I ended up apprenticing to a fellow who did similar work.
Oh, cool.
I didn't go the art school and all that route. I was studying computers and economics at the time. Not that that went anywhere.
Right.
But I spent my summers between school apprenticed to a fellow down at the beach making dragons.
Wow. Okay. Where was that? Was that here in Florida?
That was down on the Jersey Shore.
Okay, so it was a little up north there. It was a unique environment. You got to apprentice with someone. What was his background? How did he kind of come into learning about this really ancient craft and art form?
Strangely enough, he came to it via auto body work, which is where the materials are sometimes.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. It's a lot of connections there. Sure. So, yeah, you're working with metal, working with metal. So, okay, so that's super interesting. So then what kind of drew you to that opposed to other mediums?
As I said, without the sort of buffet-style art school thing, I just saw what he was doing, and I was fascinated by it. My suspicion to this day is that he only took me in and gave me a job because I was hanging around anyway.
Right.
And it was a couple of years after that, I broke my parents' heart and told them I wasn't going back to college. Computers didn't sound like enough fun.
So through that, though, you've been able to travel the world. Doing this kind of work. I mean, handmadebronze.com is the website. You get a lot of great images, a lot of great work that you've done over the years. So maybe peel back where, in the 90s, things start to get better, or give us kind of a linear progression up to today.
Well, let's see. Where have I been all these years? years.
What have you been doing?
I started off essentially doing any little arts and crafts fair that would take me, which led to some truly appalling mismatches. But worked my way down the coast, found myself in Florida, and one day I was out at a lovely little art show and starting, and this fellow walks up to me and says, "Those are great-looking dragons and things. Why don't you do Renaissance fairs?" And, the clouds opened, the beam of light came down, and I told him because I'm an idiot. I did that for many years.
Okay, so you really got into that groove where it was pertinent, that ancient art was relevant. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, that's cool.
And from there, I was approached by Universal Studios back when they were opening Islands of Adventure.
Oh, wow.
A retail shop out there for a few years.
Cool.
Which was definitely an educational experience.
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
And, well, let's just say that going from a little one-man show out in the woods at a Renaissance fair in the middle of Orlando and Universal Studios,
right.
I was in so far over my head the fish had lights on their noses. But I did learn a great deal.
Well, that's cool.
But
well, that's cool. Well, you seem like a really awesome, lighthearted, actual, person from the past. Maybe, I don't know. I can't wait to meet you in person. What do you got going on at the Wearable Art Show? Obviously, you have some awesome pieces, some body jewelry, some incredible works that are going on there that I've been able to see. But so maybe you can give us a little teaser about some of the works that you have going on for the Wearable Art Show in Deland.
Sure. Yeah, something that I've been playing with a bunch lately is octopi. My daughter, who is in art school, assures me it's the new cow skull. But they're just cool. You can do a lot with the form and the shape and the motion. And what I'm doing for this one is I'm doing 3 related pieces. One is going to be a mask.
Okay.
One is going to be a necklace. And the third is going to be a corset. All on the octopus design.
Fantastic.
Which means I had to make sure I had a model that didn't have any phobias there.
Right. No squid allergies or shellfish allergy. Right.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, so that's cool. So we're anticipating looking at this work, which is May 17th, Wearable Art Show, Deland, Florida. Francis Prackhauser is on the line with us. Francis, what's the best way if people want to get involved with your unique... And do you do large-scale work as well, or how big or small do you like to go? Or is that depending on the commission, the work, or what have you?
Well, given the techniques I'm using, I don't do statues. This is all hand-fabricated with a torch and the metal itself. So there is sort of an upper limit on how big I can go. I start down in jewelry pieces, and probably the biggest thing I've done lately was a dragon sculpture with about a 5-foot wingspan, but that's really pushing the limits of my technique.
Okay, so that's interesting. So what's the best way for people to kind of connect with you and get involved with what you're doing, whether they want to bring you on board, they want to talk about collaboration? What's the best way for people to connect with you?
Well, probably the best way in this scattered media environment we live in today would be at handmadebronze.com. I've got everything linked to there. Handmadebronze.com.
All right, cool. We've been using a lot of images from that site. You've got a Facebook page up as well under that same moniker, same name. So that is Mr. Francis Prackhauser, and that's the gentleman we've been speaking with. He's going to show some fantastic art out at the Wearable Art Show in Deland. I'm JB Webb. We're going to ask Francis, hang on the line with me, but I want to talk with you after this. I'm JB Webb. We'll be back. We have a few more people to speak with, and thanks for hanging with us on your independent web show source. Go to handmadebronze.com to find out more about Francis Prackhauser, and we'll be back. Hey, what's up, my friends? It is JB Webb, and I'm back again with another one of the great artists showing their art at the Wearable Art Show in the downtown city of Deland, Florida, at the Museum of Art. And his name is Julian Hartzog. He works with aluminum, with metal, makes awesome wearable art pieces that are everywhere. I swear, you just Google his name and art, and it will come up just huge, big shows, awesome, incredible pieces. He's on the line with us. Welcome, Julian. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, and thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. I'm glad we were able to connect and speak. You know, we're talking with everybody, or as many people as we can, and we're asking just a few simple questions. We want to get to know you a little better. You have a real unique art form. So tell me maybe a little bit about how you first got into art, how you know, maybe any metal, working with, you know, metal kind of influenced some of what you do, but give us the lowdown or the skinny on that. That'd be great to hear.
Yeah, well, first off, I got into classical architecture.
Okay.
And I went to New York in '95 for a short course, and part of the training was a sketching class, and I thought I did pretty good. So when I got home, I started taking art classes, and then I joined the art center here, with Dunedin Art Center, and I went to one of their wearable art shows about 7 or 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it would be great to design a wearable art. And but for about 6 years, I couldn't come up with anything. And then one morning, I was thinking about it, and all of a sudden, I came up with a design. And then it just went from that. And I've done quite a few since then.
So, do you have a specific background? You said building architecture, but do you have any kind of metal work in your background or anything like that?
No, I have a degree in electrical engineering.
Oh, interesting.
And
Okay.
then I got into commercial real estate investment, and the only metal work I did is flashing on buildings.
Yeah, the flashing. Yeah, the softer metal that you can bend and yeah. So, oh, that's interesting.
But I like to work with the metal. I think I can get design I can't get with fabric, and
Right.
that's the whole idea. It's a piece of art. It is called wearable art.
Yeah.
It's art, and I can do that with the metal.
It's the pieces are very striking, and they have a lot of cool symmetry into it, and you can see the you know, the frame has to be elegant that fits inside of a lot of your pieces of art. So you were sharing with me too a little bit about you know, your submissions. You're working in a show in New Zealand, or maybe you can just share a little bit about that, and we'll kind of leave your pieces at the art show to be a surprise.
Well, I was at Dunedin Art Show last year, and then on the internet I found the World of Wearable Art from New Zealand.
Okay.
And that seemed to be the ultimate in wearable art. And I applied, and I got accepted to send my 3 pieces to New Zealand.
Wow.
Then after they receive them, they're on the way now. There will be another judge, and they would determine who would be in the show.
Wow.
And
Well, sounds pretty good if you're sending stuff over there already.
yeah, and if I'm in the show, they have actually show it 14 times, and 50,000 will be seeing it.
Wow. Well, that's great. Well, congratulations. I mean, again, your work is really impressive, and then to learn a little bit about your background and how you kind of just made it, you know, formed it from your passion and said, how can I do this? And you thought about it, and you put your skill set to use. Did you have to learn a lot about working with that kind of metal, or
Yeah, I found out a lot of my designs don't work. And when I started building them, I got a pile of sheet metal in the garage that didn't work.
Right.
And but every once in a while I hit it lucky and one works and looks good, and I have great models that I have 5 that's 6 feet tall.
Well, yeah.
And so they make it look good. And,
Yeah.
and the whole thing it's about beauty, and the models makes it beautiful.
Yeah. Well, your work is beautiful, and then to see a model wearing it is an amazing. It's a real cultural kind of a wake up call of, wow, this is an incredible aluminum bodice that it's a whole configuration. You just don't see that much. So I want to say your stuff's really cool. Now, what's the best way for people to reach out to you? They just would Google your name, I would say.
Google my name and you'll see some of my outfits. And,
yeah.
And going back, one thing I'd like to say that from studying classical architecture, I learned that a Roman architect called Vitruvius in 25 of BC wrote a book, and he said that the eye is always looking for beauty.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the most beautiful things that we can see is a beautiful adorned lady.
Mm-hmm.
And in this pursuit, designers have come up with almost endless designs. And of course, wearable art is just part of that, and it takes it to a new level.
Right.
And it should be a piece of art as well as clothing.
Yeah. So you're in essence saying that the piece itself is nothing without the inhabitant, without
That's
right.
true, yeah.
Right. Well, that's good. Well, Julian Hartzog is who we've been speaking with. Hang on the line with me, bud. You're participating in WJBW. We're talking with artists from the Wearable Art Show in Deland, coming up real soon. So hang tight. We got more coming. Hey, what's up? JB Webb back with you. Thanks for hanging with us. We are interviewing the talented artists that have work that they're showing at the Wearable Art Show in beautiful Deland, Florida, coming up May 17th. And on the telephone with me, I have a unique artist, a talented artist. Her name is Neva Durham, Neva the Diva Durham, and her website, we'll throw that out there in a little bit. But we would just want to take the opportunity. Thank you for chatting with us, Neva, and how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
I'm doing good. We're getting summer weather already here in Florida, so that's good and bad, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you feel like you're so sick to you. Sure, yeah.
Yeah, bring the heat down upon us. Well, you do a wide range of different types of work. You have a good artist background, and that's what I'd love to find out a little bit more. On your website, people can see makeup, hair, face paint, and you also do wearable art, which is cool. So maybe give us a little sense of your background. How'd you first start to get into art and makeup, things like this? Give us a little peel back that onion for us, as it were.
Well, about 5 years ago, I volunteered at a fashion show where my cousin was working, and I had never done makeup before in my life.
Okay.
And I was out as an accountant or a payroll specialist.
Mm-hmm.
And so she said, you like to do makeup, so why don't you just bring your makeup graveyard and your brushes and come do makeup backstage. So I volunteered, and I did makeup for 6 hours and was in heaven. And people were asking me, where did you go to school to do this? And
Wow.
I'm like, I've never had any training. And so it kind of took off from there. 2 months later, I was doing makeup for Tampa Bay Fashion Week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's definitely a God-given gift when you have a gift like that. I found it late in life.
Yeah, no, but that's great.
And that was where I did my first face paint was at Tampa Bay Fashion Week. A designer, Audrey Pat McGee, was doing a lion and wanted me to do a lion face. Well, needless to say, nobody volunteered, so I stuck my little hand in there and said, I'll try. So I did a lion face, and needless to say, they didn't tell me that I only had 4 minutes to do it. So
Oh, my God.
basically, I had 4 minutes to do a live face, and then changing her clothes in my chair and putting her shoes on and doing her hair, all that, and I'm like praying underneath my breath. Oh my God!
But it sounds.
That's how I got started.
Yeah, it sounds like you're training for a reality show almost with that.
Oh my gosh, really? Yeah.
So
my life has been such a whirlwind since.
So that first piece kind of came out really good. In that limited amount of time, and you said, hey, under pressure I can do this, I take more time, I can do some different things. Was there anything in your younger, do you like to play with makeup as a younger child? Or?
Well, I mean, I just like to wear my own makeup, really nice, and I sold Mary Kay for like 6 months, so that's about it. That was just too much for me, just not my cup of tea.
Right.
So, because I think maybe it's because I was too artsy.
Yeah.
It wasn't the normal, fashion makeup that turns me on, you know what I mean? So, but my dad's a photographer and a videographer.
Oh,
so,
cool.
And I've been developing pictures with him since I was in the dark room,
Oh, wow.
Way back in the day,
Yeah.
So,
no, that's cool. So you inherited a little bit of the eye, or have been, involved with, here's composition, here's how this should look. So that's cool to know.
Right. And I worked with him a lot with weddings, posing people and things like that, so I know how to find the light, how models, move their body to, find the right posing, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, so let's talk. That's a good natural segue to the show, May 17th, in the beautiful downtown Deland, a Museum of Art. There you have a couple pieces, a piece in that lineup. Can you give us a clue about some of that work that you have there?
Sure. I won Best in Show there last year.
Oh, cool.
For a dress that I made out of 360 cut-up balloons.
What?
Yeah. So that one took me about a month, and they're all hand-stitched.
Oh,
so
wow.
It took a little while to make that. And wearable art is just something that my mentor, Cindy Linville, got me into several years ago. We co-designed a couple of designs together, and I was feeling pretty good about doing it on my own. But last year, when I entered 3 pieces last year, and this year I have 5 pieces going. And
wow.
One of the pieces, I'll give you a little hint, was actually in a magazine.
Oh.
Actually, 6 pieces were published in a magazine a national syndication too, which was really nice.
Yeah.
My first ever national publication, and it got a 2-page spread. So.
Wow. So we can really expect some really great stuff from you. Yeah, we don't want to put too much pressure on you. You're trying out for the reality show, right? Wearable art reality show. So that's cool. So Neva, where's the best place for people to go if they want to connect with you, or maybe hire you or bring you in for some advice or consultants or just to be in a part of an event? What's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
My website shows my gallery of most of my work. I have such a diverse line of work between body art, painting, wearable art, makeup, hair, from bridal to couture.
Wow.
Is my slogan, and I'm we're all-in-one source for photo shoots. It's at divadesignsmakeup.webs.com.
Okay, divadesignsmakeup.webs.com. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, very cool. And of course, you're on Facebook as well, and people can go like that page, Diva Designs Makeup. I think that's the URL. Yeah, that's the same thing. So, listen, I'm going to thank you so much for the time that you've spent with us. We got, there's about over a dozen different artists showing at this particular event. So, we're working to talk with everybody and give everybody, a good little space of time. It's been a genuine pleasure getting to speak with you and learn a little bit more about your craft, your skill. And I'm excited to see your work coming up this couple weeks.
I look forward to seeing you.
Getting ready? Likewise. Well, thanks. We've been speaking with Neva the Diva Durham out of Florida here, and I am JB Webb. We'll be back. We have plenty.